He's such a consistent performer, and if he's anywhere near his best, but he's going to be need to be at that best today, given that field. The likes of John Correa, a winner of Chicago, and the current champion from Boston, 2:02:44. Deriba, who we've mentioned, the winner in Barcelona, and then just so many high-quality athletes when you look down that field, likes of Hillary, Kim Kennedy.
So all the top 3 women have their own personal pacemakers here. And Sisai Lema, the #1 athlete by time, being introduced. Emmanuel Petros, silver medalist from Tokyo 12 weeks ago in the World Championship Marathon. John Correa, he was a late addition to the field, having dropped out of Chicago 8 weeks ago. Was hoping to repeat his win in Chicago, but dropped out there just short of 30k, and it'll be very interesting to see how he's recovered from that. Certainly looking to go well here, having won in Boston earlier this year. Amazingly, Sisai Lema has run 27 marathons over a very long career, which goes back 12 years. So plenty of experience there in both the men's elite race and the women's elite race. We are just a few seconds away from the start of the 2025 Trinidad Alfonso Valencia Marathon.
And there the gun fires to set off the first wave, including the elites of the Valencia Marathon Trinidad Alfonso, Zurich 2025. We're definitely going to have company along the way of those very good standard national club runners that will be running very similar times. And again, this pan back to the second group.
Well, this is Tariko Navales, who might be just dropping off a little bit. We did hear earlier that he'd been training in Ethiopia and had a very good training block, but there was some questions about the shape he was in the last few weeks, and we heard that he might just try to go with that second group, and it looks as though he's starting to fall back because
relaxed and rhythmical they are, almost in sync, those 3 paces at the front. And the paces have such an important job as, again, we pan back to Sako, who actually retired and decided enough was enough, and then wanted to come back. So hats off to him, the athlete wearing the hat today, to get back into marathon shape. The long career, successful career, and he's back on it again, Richard.
Yeah, his best time 2:05:29 when he finished 4th in the Tokyo Marathon 5 years ago. So again, a lot of experience, and hoping that Valencia can be a happy hunting ground for him and he can go even faster. So yeah, he'll be looking, see if he can improve the Japanese national record, which was set 4 years ago by Kengo Suzuki, 2:04:56. So
record is safe.
Yeah, it's good that the 5 of them are together, because obviously at some point over the next 10-15 kilometres the pacers will drop out, and then it'll be down to these 5 athletes and any who can try and catch them up to battle it out over the final part of the race. This is the second group that we were watching earlier. Very, very big group.
What is interesting, Richard, they're only 40 seconds behind. There's not a huge differential between the front group and this chase group. And I tell you what, safety in numbers potentially, because that is a very healthy chase group.
About 15 athletes, and they're 3 pacemakers right at the front doing a very, very good job. Remember, they've been asked to take that group through at around 62:15.
Mossin is in that group as well, so he's one we're looking out to making his debut and maybe deciding to play it safe rather than to go with that lead group. And just going down the list as well, Emil Caress leading that third group, and they're on 2:07:03 pace. They went through in 45:15, so almost metronomic splits from Emil Caress with that group, and I was looking out for Jack Rowe in that group as well, trying to bounce back from disappointment in London to hopefully today finish his first marathon. But they've been in that third group, 15:03, and then there were 15:03 and then 15:05 for the third 5 kilometre split. Now, fantastic marathon runners, so almost on a weekly, monthly kind of figure. But there's back to that chase group. And again, we've got some debutants in there. Mossin, you can see in the middle of that group, and Cripper, who's not a debutant, but very experienced athlete. Lovely mover, if you look at him on the right-hand side of the screen there. And our 2 pacers in this chase group still doing a great job at that under 2:05 pace.
Yeah, I think both of the debutants that we're talking up today, Patrick Mossin in the shade. Now, this is the second group that we mentioned, weren't that far behind the leaders at halfway. There's Tesfaye Deriba, the Ethiopian, running just his 4th marathon here. But interestingly, Emmanuel Petros, the silver medalist from the World Championship Marathon in Tokyo 12 weeks ago.
He thought he had gold that day, didn't he, Richard, in that home straight, looking over his shoulder and getting caught on the line. I'm sure he would have been delighted with the silver medal, but to get that close, and I'm sure part of that redemption today would be taking that national record. But the national record holder is in that group right now as well, isn't he?
Samuel Fitwi. 8 athletes. So that second group that were aiming to go through halfway around 62:15 has definitely thinned out. Yamani Cripper, he is still under the course record pace set by his compatriot Johannes Cipanelli here in Valencia 12 months ago. Remember, Cripper's best time 2:06.06 set in Seville at the start of 2024 Olympic year, and Cripper operating at a faster pace today. There's the leading Japanese athlete, Suguru Osaka, just outside the national record pace of Kengo Suzuki, 2:04.56. So that gives us an idea that they're really very, very close to the de la Pau Peace Street, which will bring him down to the 30k points by the City Hall. That was near to where we were staying last night. Great atmosphere in the old part of the city yesterday. Many of the roads closed to traffic. This is the second group, and you can see how this second group is breaking up. This is the one of the German athletes, Samuel Fitwi. Looks as though he might be starting to struggle a little bit. He is the national record holder, 2:04.56.
though, so that's Cisalema. As we said, his race is done. Fitwi's just gone past him, but the pace up front, just done my maths on John Corrier's last 5 kilometre split. So from 25 to 30 kilometres, Richard, 14 minutes and 13 seconds. That's why he's put the damage, the distance into that chase group. And yeah, things are splintering, aren't they, in all of the groups now?
Yeah, this group of 6 athletes, it looks as though Yamani Cripper is not in this group, so it is the...
With a superb debut time.
4th place for a Japanese athlete who's going to run a new national record.
Wow, what a return. That's why you come out of retirement, Richard.
Absolutely brilliant. Remember, his best time set 5 years ago, more than 5 years ago, in Tokyo, and he's come to Valencia and he's smashed the national record for Japan.
Oh, that is sensational, isn't it?
2:04.56 was the record.
Oh, wow.
Gashawayale